Hi there. During my break, I went on a trip to Cannes, and during my trip, I met someone who's from Switzerland, and we were talking about some of the benefits of his job, which include the flexibility of him going in and out of the office. It's not a strict 9 to 5 schedule, and he also gets to telecommute. And because of that, I decided to take a look at the benefits of telecommuting and the impact on the environment. In 2013, a study conducted by University of Melbourne showed that the average commuting time for Australians is 54 minutes. Only 19% of people spend 90 minutes or more commuting. They also found that 78% of Australians travel to work by car, with only 16% of people using public transportation. In another survey, researchers have also found that people who are living in the Northern Territory have the shortest commuting time, and the people who have the longest commuting time are people who are living in Sydney. Altogether, the main cities in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, they account for 5.5 million commuters. Now let's take a look at how telecommuting can help with carbon emissions. In the Green Book, the authors report that workers commute an average of 10,000 miles per year, and they consume 67 billion gallons of gas. The authors report that telecommuting can reduce vehicle miles traveled per year by 35 billion miles, and that it could also save 2 billion gallons of gas. In the 2008 Smart 2020 report, they say that telecommuting and virtual meetings can reduce carbon emissions by 70 to 130 metric tons annually. Other benefits of telecommuting include reduced congestion, energy savings, lower company real estate costs, less pressure on transportation infrastructure, fewer vehicle accidents, and improved air quality. A huge advantage of telecommuting is you don't have to deal with traffic jams. Traffic jams are the worst for the environment because while we're stuck in traffic sitting in the car, 3 billion gallons of gas are being wasted, and that produces an additional 26 million tons of GHG emissions. Just one day of telecommuting can reduce 423,000 tons of GHG emissions. That is equivalent to taking off 77,000 cars off the road for a year. Telecommuting does not only provide environmental benefits, it provides other benefits to the company and its employees as well. Researchers partnered with C-Trip International Corporation's call center, and they found that employees who telecommute made 13% more calls and received 40 more calls per week compared to employees who did not telecommute. Additionally, these telecommuters worked extra 9.2 minutes a day. This is because of a quieter environment at home. Also, they do not have to commute, they took shorter breaks, and they took less sick leave. Their job satisfaction was higher as well, as it was 16% more than those who did not telecommute. As a result, their retention rate was 18% higher as well. Another study was conducted by an online market research called USAMP, and they found that telecommuting actually cuts down on waste and electricity. The study found that when people are working at home, their actions become more environmentally friendly. That's because they do not leave the lights on for the whole day, and they tend to recycle at home. In fact, 74% turn their lights off when they're not in use. 56% kept the heating and air conditioning low in order to save energy. 53% printed minimum amount of paper. 39% recycled. And lastly, 34% avoided bottled water. These results make sense because the energy that they are wasting is their own, not someone else's. A great thing is that there are some companies who are encouraging their workers to work from home. In 2012, Dell pledged to have 50% of its workers to work from home by 2020. Back then, only 20% of its employees worked from home. That's about 20,000 people. And even back then, they reported seeing environmental benefits. In 2014, Dell's employees cut down their GHG emissions by 6,700 metric tons, and that is equivalent of not driving 16 million miles. Another example is Xerox. Xerox allows 11% of its workforce, which is about 8,000 employees, to work from home full-time. Through telecommuting, Xerox employees managed to reduce their GHG emissions by 40,894 metric tons. Additionally, their gas consumption fell by 4.6 million gallons just by not commuting. Their program was so successful that Xerox decided to add an additional 1,000 remote positions in 2014. A key takeaway from these examples is that much of the individual's carbon footprint is based on where, when, and how he or she is required to work. It's a triple win situation for companies that let their employees to work from home. There is a win for the company because telecommuting enables the company to save costs. It also results in high employee productivity and retention rate. It is also a win for the environment since the individuals become environmentally friendlier. And lastly, the employees win as well because they get to achieve work-life balance while positively impacting the environment. Therefore, in my opinion, I think that more companies, if not all companies, should jump on board when it comes to telecommuting. Even if it's just once a week, I think that it's going to make such a positive impact on the environment. And if it's a triple win situation, then the corporations have nothing to lose. They might as well try it out and see how it goes. So that's my opinion on telecommuting. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in vlog number 9.